Hi guys, welcome to HSC Standard Math Hacks for 2021. In today's video, I will be taking you through one of the favorite questions of examiner that has appeared repeatedly in the exams. And there is a very high chance for this question to appear. This has been appearing since 2013 and last it appeared was in 2020 exam, which is the previous exam, question 2019 question 32. So I'm talking about this section, all these questions, and this one, question 2020, question 20. And this infographic you can find at Study Ninja website. So if you go to Study Ninja, here we have put together all the exam topics by their occurrence. So the more they're occurring, they're at the top. And we have broken down the questions into different question types. And we have segregated them by their difficulty level. So this infographic is here. And here you'll also find the different study notes as well. So back to the question. So let's start off by looking at each of these questions. Now the thing is, here I'm not gonna help you solve the question, but what I'm trying to tell you is that for this kind of question, there are only a few things that can be modified, or this question depends on only a few things, and you need to remember the skill to understand what are those things. And once you master them and you know how to do the actual working, then these kind of marks could be very easy because there are pretty limited ways in which they can be asked. So what I've done here is, let me just bring my pen up. So what I've done here is, on this side, I've put together the different things that are either given on the question or they are being asked from you. So for each of these questions, I'll take you through. So let's start with 2013 question 27b. This is the question. What you're given is the tax rates for different income bands, and this kind of table has always been coming in all of the questions you will see as we walk through. So this is the table. You're given this table over here. Then what else are you given? You're given the gross annual salary. So this is the gross salary, not the taxable one, 84,000. So you're given the gross income. You're also given deductions. She has tax deductions of 1,000 for work-related travel and 500 for stationery. So you're also given deduction. Okay. You're also told that she pays a medical levy, and it's calculated as 1.5% of her taxable income. So you're not given medical levy, but you're told it's 1.5% of taxable income. So you need to calculate medical levy, and you don't know what is taxable income, so you need to calculate that taxable income as well. And what else are you given? You're told that she has already paid at 18,500 in tax, so you're already given how much tax is already paid. What does the question really want from you? It's asking you how much is either a tax refund or the money she owes to ATO. So really, eventually what it's asking you is this bit. But to work all of this out, you need to first work out, if I move each step back, you need to work out what is the tax that she needs to pay. You need to work out what is the levy on top. Then you would know what is the total obligation. Once you know that, then you would work out, okay, how much, then you're given how much is already paid. From these two minus this, you will work out whether she owes the money or she needs to pay more to the ATO. So this is the process, right? And again, I'm not going to tell you how to solve it, but at a high level, how you would work would be taxable income. You will calculate, which is income minus deduction, gross income minus gross deduction. That will give you this number, taxable income. Once you have the taxable income, 1.5% of taxable income is medical levy. So you'll multiply this number by 1.5%. You will get this number. Tax payable, on that taxable income, use this table to work out what the tax would be. And this is where you should be really master your skills, how to work out the tax from a given table. Okay, so you'll work this out, you'll get the tax payable. Once you have these numbers, once you have these two numbers, then what you need to do is, this is the total amount, sum of these two is the total amount that she is supposed to pay. From this amount, deduct what she has already paid, which is 18,500, and you will get either a positive or negative balance, which would be either it's a refund or she owes more money. So that's what happened in 2013, question 27. Let's move on. 2016, question 26F, we are looking here now. This question, they have been kinder to you compared to 2013 question 27B, and I'll tell you why. Let's move one by one. He has a gross salary of 18,000 and there is another income of rental property of 10,920. So you're given some gross incomes. You're also given that there are some deductions. You're given this. And then you're asked, what is the taxable income? So you're asked to work this step, right? So you first asked to work this out, which would be this part. Then you're given a table, this table. So this table is given to you. Then they're asking you, okay, now you know what the taxable income is. Can you calculate what is the tax payable? So using this table and using this taxable income that you calculated in part 1, you will work out what is the tax payable, which is this part, okay? Then they go further and say, okay, he has paid a medical levy of this much. So you're already given what the medical levy is. You are also told that he has already paid 20,535. You're also told this. And then what they're asking you eventually is, what is the amount that he owes, or he will get a refund. So pretty much same thing that is being asked in this question, but this question had pretty much been direct, asking you, okay, tell me this number, this. But here it's taking you step by step, okay, tell me this, once you've done this, what is this, and then asking you, now you know everything, tell me this eventually. So they've been kinder to you in this question. But again, as I've put this table, one of the things is missing and you have to work out from the given information. So remember these. Okay, let's move on. So now we are in question 29 in 2017 exam. Here you've got taxable income of 86,725. So you're already given the taxable income. So you don't need to worry about these anymore. You don't need to work out, just like in this question, you had to work out what the taxable income was. You're also told that she pays a medical levy, which is 2% of her taxable income. Now you need to work out what this medical levy is. You're not given, but you're told how to work it out. This is 2% of the taxable income. You're given the taxable income. Okay, so you can work that out. And then you're given a table. So you're given the table. Then what is being asked is, what is the net income? So that's another way of asking that, what is net income? Net income really is what your total taxable income is, and then you remove the tax and the medical levy. That will be your taxable net income. So essentially, if you can work out what your tax payable is, then you subtract these two numbers from this number, you will get your net income. So again, in this case, you don't really care how much is owed by the tax office, so these two don't matter. So again, one of these things have been asked, right? Let's move on. So question 2018, question 30. Here you have got Luke's taxable income, 87,000. Okay, so you have been given the taxable income here. Okay, then what you're also, so this was last year's taxable income, sorry. This was last year's taxable income, and what you're told is that this income has increased by 16,800. So this year's taxable income is really 687,000 plus 16,800. This is this year, so it is given. It's just you have to sum these two up. This is to calculate this year's income. You're also given a table. So a table is given. Because the taxable income is given, you don't care about these, so they don't worry. What they're asking you, what is the tax payable? So use this income to work out what is the tax payable from this table. So that's what been asked here. Then the next part is just a bit of working you need to do. You don't need to calculate anything new here. What they're saying is how much extra money Luke will have as a result of increase in his taxable income. So you just need to work out what was the taxable after-tax income last year versus what is the after-tax income this year, and the difference between those two would be your increase. You've been told that you can ignore the levy, so ignore levy. You don't care about how much is owing and refund. That's all is not given. Okay, let's move on. So 2019 question 32. Here you've been given a table, as always. Table is given, and then you've been told that medical levy is 2% of taxable income, but you're also told that medical levy is this much, 1934. So medical levy is already given. So this is given, but you just also told how it's worked out. So you're told that 1934.8 is equal to 2% multiplied by taxable income, right? So then they're asking what is the tax payable on the taxable income. You don't even know what the taxable income is, so that's where you would first put, okay, what is the taxable income? That's what we need to calculate, and then we can work out what is the tax payable. These two we don't care. The reason we don't care about these two because we already know how to work out the taxable income because they told us how to do it here using this. So you'll work that out, taxable income. Once you have that, use the table to work out what is the tax payable, and that would be your answer. They're not asking, not telling you what the tax already is paid and what is the refund or balance out, so you don't need to worry about this. So you would be noticing there's just a pattern out of these things. One of the things is missing, and then you're being asked to do the same thing over and over. So move to the last question in this series. This came in 2020 exam, question 20. You're given a table. So table is given. You are also given the taxable income, which is this. So you're given the taxable income. You don't need to work out from gross income and deductions the taxable income. You're also told that how much has been paid during the year in PG. So it's 3,000 per month. So which means in a year you multiply by 12. You've been told 36,000 has already been paid. So you're already given this bit. Then you're told you can ignore the medical levy. So you can ignore medical levy. Then finally, what they're asking is what is Wally's tax refund? So eventually they're interested in this number. But to work this out, you first need to work out what is it that is payable. So you need to work this number out. And this you will work using the taxable income. Using the taxable income, using the table, this table, you'll work out what is this tax payable. Once you have this tax payable, you already know how much tax is already paid. Difference between these two would be the tax refund, or it would be from this way to that way. Yeah, so that would be our answer. So what you would notice here is questions have been very straightforward, always been asking the same thing over and over and over again. So there's a high chance if you master these questions that you would do well. Now coming to how else can these be asked. So I gave this a little bit of thought. I've pulled out the 2018 question because I thought this would be a good example to make it a bit tricky. You've got the taxable you basically what you were given was that question was asking you to calculate tax based on an income increase of 16,800, right? Last year the income was, let me just write it down. So last year you were told the income was 87,000 and you are told the tax was 19,822. Now what you're told is that this income increased by 16,800, right? And then they're asking you, okay, what is the tax payable this year? So the tax payable this year would be up until 87,000, it's already what was paid last year, 19,822. So the extra that would be paid would be 37 cents for the extra 16,800. So that number should be 6216. So the increase in taxes, this 6,216. So instead of giving the question to you in this way, they can make it a bit tricky. What they can say is that last year Luke's income was 87,000, just like it is currently saying in the question. Then the question can say that this year Luke's tax increased by 6,216. And then they can ask you, okay, what is Luke's income this year? So instead of giving you this 16,800, you can be asked to work backwards towards this by giving you this number. So be sure that you know how to work your things out like this backwards. So that's one way of making things a bit tricky. Another one which I really think can make things extremely tricky is, notice up until now you've always been given the table, always, in all the questions that have appeared. Really tricky way this question can be asked is, say this table is already given to you and you would be told something like this, that say last year this was the table, okay, this is last year's table. And then they say this year what has happened is that all of this table is same except that in this band the tax rate has changed, okay? So instead of 32.5 cents, it is whatever X cents. You don't know what that X is. So then, so that's what I've written here. For this band, the tax rate has increased. And then you can be told, okay, this year income tax payable on the income of 80,000 has increased by 1,000 compared to last year. And then you would be asked, okay, then now tell us what is the tax rate for this band. So what you would need to do would be, you first need to work out that what was the tax on an income of 80,000. So last year you would work out on an 80,000 taxable income. On an 80,000 taxable income, you're given the table for last year, which is this table, for example. You will work out what was the tax payable, right? What was the tax payable? Then what you're told, let's say that number is, I'm just making up the number, okay? So let's say that number is 14,000. Then what you're told that this year, because of the increase in this band, the this tax payable, this 14,000 has gone up by 1,000. So what you know is that this year the tax is 15,000. Now you need to work backwards. Now they're asking, okay, now you know this, then work out what is the tax on this band. So you would need to work out basically what is it that on top of this, in this band, on top of this 3572 would be basically the tax rate. So what would be this X? So this would be a tricky way of asking, and that hasn't been done so far. So you need to be extra careful on these kind of questions. So that's it for today. A few resources that you can use. All these questions are under question type 2. and under this tax and medical levy questions. And if you want to practice more of these kind of variations that I have talked about, feel free to sign up for these mock exams. I've got 20 mock exams and they've got over 700 questions in these. Also, please sign up to the Studying HSC Standard Maths Facebook group. Here we post useful resources every time and again. Thank you.